Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. In today's video, which I don't do too many, I do podcasts instead, better reach than YouTube for my, dismal amount that I'm getting, but I thought I'd put the visual up just in case. All right, so today's market on the February 22nd, 2023, 4:11 Eastern Standard Time. You can see here it's been fairly mixed. Um, but let's go through Bitcoin. So I want to show Bitcoin overall, this is a good test for you all. So you can see here, Bitcoin is down negative 2.73, so it's been hit pretty hard. The alternative coins down 1.28%. So what I want to show you is uh, basically I'm using MotiveWave and dxFeed as my data provider combined on MotiveWave. So it's Interactive Brokers, the broker for orders, dxFeed for the data, and then on top of that, we are using MotiveWave, the platform. So that's a combination that works really good. It's very, very stable, A-OK. So knowing all that, let me show you what are the available confirmed ETFs that you can get. They'll give you Bitcoin exposure. And I'm going to show you the holdings. And this is not just Bitcoin, but the crypto industry as well. So let me just show you a bunch of these. So first one we're going to look at is BitQ. So this one is Bitwise Crypto Industry Innovators ETF. Okay. So let me pull up a comparison chart here. So that is BitQ. Okay, that's a symbol name. BitQ. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to load up the chart. Uh, go into a chart here. And then I believe you go comparison as well. Okay. So let me clear off some of the older ones here. BitQ, Apple, might keep ETC like, well, the I'm gonna get rid of those. So that's BitKey right there. Okay. So I'll load up probably a 3 month would be a good time frame. Okay. So we're going all the way back to the right here, December 29th. All right. So that's the first one here. So let's look at the holdings that you get with this ETF for crypto exposure. So these are the top picks of this ETF for holdings. And here's the percentage of asset holdings for that ETF. So we got MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Silvergate, Riot Blockchain, Marathon Digital. Now we're getting into miners, Hive Blockchain Technologies again, miners, and so on. Okay. So those are pretty well the top companies listed for crypto. That's a good mix. So that's the first one. Now let me, as a comparison, just show you two more. So we're going to look at the overall metric, the standard benchmark, the GSP, which is the standard S&P 500. Again, you can see it's up 34% versus the overall measly 1% that the S&P 500 is giving you. But look at the volatility you got to go through to uh, experience that kind of performance. So depending upon your tolerance for that, that's something to consider. Now let's start looking at the other ETFs. So the second one I'm going to talk about is NFTZ. Okay, so this is called Defiance Digital ETF. So these are the only ones that will I can get a listing using dxFeed on my MotiveWave with an actual chart. Okay, no different than a stock. I got a bunch of other ones that don't uh, list. That's including Grayscale, and I do believe that's because it's a trust, meaning it's on the pink sheet. So it's not in the eyes of interactive brokers, it's not legitimate. So I only have three to work with, but it's a very good, diverse set of comparisons here. So again, let's look at the holdings here for this one for NFTZ. So once again, these are pretty good. Marathon, and these are digital now. So we got DraftKings, which is poker, I guess. Hive, Silvergate, Riot, Cloudflare. Okay. Excuse me. So I'll put that on as a comparison. So we're diversifying now, which they tell you, but it's kind of in the digital slash crypto space. So let me pull that one up. That is symbol NFTZ. NFTZ. Boom. Like, no, we don't want that. It'd be very tricky here. NFTZ. Right, there we go. Okay, so that's in purple there. You can see it's very similar to the performance of Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to add that in there. BTC, uh, was it USD right here? So this is the actual real McCoy Bitcoin. So you can see here, Bitcoin's giving you 44% return over the other ones. Still outperforming the S&P, right? All right. So the S&P right here, uh, negative 0.87%. All right. So let's look at one more. This is purely Bitcoin, as far as I can tell. ProShare Bitcoin Strategy ETF. I guess they're doing some kind of trade on Bitcoin with some kind of strategy they may have developed. Here we go again with promoting. So let's look at the holdings here for BITO. So there are no holdings because this is purely, supposedly 100% Bitcoin in US dollar, I guess. Okay, so let me add that to the comparison now. BITO. Okay, so we got a pretty good diverse view of digital, crypto industry, including miners, exchanges like Coinbase, and anything else. So here we go. So let's check it out. So right now, this one, Beto, is giving us 45%, still volatile, but I will have to say it's nowhere as volatile as the other ones. And I always look at the dips. The dips are nowhere as steep as the BITO. Good job. Good job. Now, when you compare that to here in cyan pink, that's BTC USD. Okay. So I have to say that's a pretty good ETF to be part of, BITO. Okay. Now, the other ones here, not so much. And uh, personally, this one's your best one. If you want to get crypto exposure through what I do, uh, definitely this is the better one. So if you want to allocate, that might be a plan. So the price of BITO, which is a factor, like $15, man, it's nothing. So you could probably buy like, I don't know, ten shares of that and do okay if as long as Bitcoin does okay. My problem is I'm trying to beat the market, right? So I might add that particular ETF a couple of positions. I have a tiny account, so I might add that as just a holding, just general. If that performance continues, um, I may do it. And just put like 2 shares on it or something, like really, really tiny amount, or maybe 4 or 5, I don't know. So there's that, but you can clearly see it's just killing the general S&P 500. So when you hear about these dinosaurs like Charlie, what's his name? Colorful Charlie Buffett's sidekick, who's just saying crypto's a joke. Really? For the year and 3 months, you're getting 45% return and you're gonna scoff at that? Man, don't listen to guys like that. And anyone that's saying that crypto is not going to do anything for you, no. This is a pretty solid ETF, if you ask me. So that's pretty good planning. Okay, I'm going to start looking for other strong performing ETFs I can get exposed to. So as I said, if you want to get exposed in a safe way through an ETF for crypto, as you can see, these other ones, they're very volatile, but this one, this BITO seems to be very well managed. So just putting that out there, and it's very strong. So let's take a look at the monthly return here. Still, the S&P here is at 0.6%, but yet you're still up 7.6% for the 30-day. Let's ratchet it down to 5-day. So now you're negative 1.8, whereas here in, yeah, so the GSP or the S&P 500 generally is 3.9. So you're still ahead with BITO. Um, and then daily, and well, let's just see how it did. So daily here, you could see that BITO is down. So again, let's look at the probably year to date. Might be a good one. Yeah. So here, BITQ year to date's doing better. And again, if you can lump that volatility, but BitQ is doing pretty good. And let's see here. I don't know what the return is for S&P year to date. So that's pretty good. Let's look at the 1 year performance. Yeah, so here's the problem. So it really depends if Bitcoin overall uh bottoms out, which it kind of is, and stabilized this year. But if you were to trade and just buy and hold, you would have gotten not killed. Well, yeah, you would have gotten killed compared to the S&P 500. You'd be down 35% year 1 year. So it there is an opportunity there with Bitcoin or this BITO. It's just waiting it out to know when to get in, to know when you have a solid rally. It just depends upon what your goal is. In my case, I'm trying to beat the market, okay? The S&P 500. Currently, it's still early days for me if I want to add in BITO, but if you don't have that restriction, maybe look into it. It just depends. I'm gonna do a video on my or probably an article on my outlook on Bitcoin and Ethereum because they kind of correlated, so one or the other. But as I said, these are the only three ETFs I can get exposed to using dxFeed for the data. So BIT out of all of them is the best performing one as a stock ETF or equity, whatever you call it. So I just want to put that out there. More importantly, as you know, we're going into a time of like we don't know our security of where we're at. I just showed you the S&P 500 return, the general standard benchmark down 7%. Um, and even let's say for the last month, it's barely budging. So there are ways to build your own bank, secure uh, your own future, because this is the problem: is we got censorship in the offing, the CBDCs in the offing. You got to be able to really control your own destiny and your own currency, because the CBDC is basically leading us to, unfortunately, I don't know, call it enslavement. I mean, that's the way it's looking. I've done lots of videos, so yeah, just join the email. This is what I'm trying to tell you. But for me to blab on, I will tell you that unfortunately, I've seen the proposals of the CBDC from the UK, which came out a few weeks ago. And if that's not enough for you, please check out what's going on with Nigeria and the CBDC. Okay, they're the first country out there to put this out on people, and the population of Nigeria does not want this thing. They're rejecting it, and the Nigerian government is just forcing it, like ramming it down the country's throat. So let me show you some of the headlines if you don't believe me. Here we go. Nigeria restricts cash to put the central bank digital currency. So that's just December 19th. So that's been for the last 2 months. Okay. Let me go into the news section here. So Nigeria is the one to watch. Uh, so they have taken control of the e-naira, okay, the currency. This is not good. So it's such a bad job that they have to bring in this platform from the states to revamp it, the R3. Um, and there's just no cash. Limits cash and pushes the CBDC. So people are not able to get cash. So what happens? This Nigeria faces violent protests amid cash scarcity. That's 6 days ago. Okay. This is the CBDC in action. Okay. So as I said, today's the 22nd. You see the update, few dead. This is how serious this is, where people are not able to get cash. And now they're saying, well, Bitcoin fixed this. I don't know. But if you go again to this here, the banking solution, and I've got another webinar tomorrow night to talk about the other solution to be able to trade decentrally on from exchanges. I've got a potential solution on that. So I'll gonna do that live on Thursday night, and that will be behind closed doors as well. There's no public video on that. So this is how serious it's getting. I'm sure you know. Um, so here's another step that they put in for Nigeria: Nigerian cash limits. Okay, and that was 3 weeks ago. This is major news that nobody's talking about. This is what the CBDCs do to any economy. Okay, and Nigeria's a very young economy, or young people, over 200 plus million. It's the largest country, I believe, in Africa. And this is no joke, this CBDC nonsense. Okay. So that's what's happening. And if you want to secure your future, you got to find out how to do it. This is one option, quantlabs.net/banking. Over and out. Thanks for watching. And hopefully this will help you out. Talk to you.